Alright, I couldn't wait any longer. I had to get started. It's 2 minutes early. I don't care. I'm a rebel. I'm a vagabond. Try to stop me. These records have been sitting here for a few days now, and I just haven't opened them because I was kind enough to wait for you guys. And now here we are, so welcome to the live stream. I'm going to be opening a bunch of records. I think we have probably around 15 or so. I'm not entirely sure what they all are, but we're going to find out together, and hopefully I have cool things to tell you about them, and then we can talk about some music, and that's how these go. So thank you for taking the time to hang out with me on this afternoon, and hopefully we'll talk about some cool records. All right, Scotty, you made the live unboxing. Welcome. I promise it will be underwhelming. No, these are always really fun. I appreciate everyone who pops in. So, what's up, Hard Filed? I usually wait a couple minutes for people to kind of get situated, and then I just dive right into it, because we got a lot to get through. We got some serious folks in here. We got Terry, Corey, Laura, Travis, Deputy Dog from France. That's cool. Tim's here. Tony's here. We got Jules Taylor asking if I'm an Oasis fan. I enjoy... I almost said it. I'm wide awake. It's morning. That's Bright Eyes. What is the album called? Why am I blanking on this? Their first album. The one with all their songs. The Oasis album. Why can't I think of it? What's the Story, Morning Glory? Woo! I almost had to retire. I almost had to end the channel. That was bad. I got it, though. It took me only a few minutes. Everyone's here. This is a good crew. I recognize, like, every single name. This is rad. Cool. Well, let's get started, because I know there are some folks here. Janosha's here. It's like 2 a.m. It's 1 a.m. for Laura in the UK. I don't want to make people stay up too late to hear me get excited about records. So let's get started. This video is sponsored by me. No one sponsored this. This is just me. And let's get started. So right here we have something. We're starting off. I know what this is. This is going to be slightly obscure. I apologize. We'll hopefully get some stuff in here that's not just obscurities. But let's do it. Let's get into it. So I've been waiting on these for quite some time. These are, one of them in particular is a best of the genre. The others are, or is there just two? I thought there were three. I guess there's only two. So these are Vaporwave records that, Vaporwave records that are awesome. This one, I'm really off today. I'm sorry, guys. This one in particular, Yes, We're Open by Groceries, is a seminal album in the Vaporwave history, I think. I think this is one of the best Vaporwave albums of all time. And it had a cassette release, and it finally got a vinyl release. I actually don't know this album at all, but they had both for sale, and I figured, you know what, I love this album so much, I'm sure I will like this as well. But as we've learned, most people in this chat are not super into Vaporwave, so I'm not going to waste any damn time talking about it. Geometric Lullaby, check it out. I think they might be out of print already, which is a bummer. But let's get started. Let's keep going. All right. I hate these mailers that have, like, you gotta, like, kind of rip the front off, and I'm always worried I'm gonna rip the record in half. Does anyone relate to this fear? All right, here we go. All right. Just drop something on the ground. What is this? Oh, this is a very good album. So, I must own a couple copies of this already, but this one suckered me in. This is the 25th? Is it 25th anniversary? 25th anniversary of an amazing record called Introducing by DJ Shadow. One of the fathers of plunderphonics. Plunderphonics being taking other sounds and incorporating it into your own music and making kind of a new sound experience. The other people that are so incredible are the Avalanches. So this album, the reason I got it was for two reasons. One, I'm actually not that excited about the DJ Shadow signature, and I'll tell you why. When I lived in LA, he used to do a yearly garage sale. And if you guys have watched this channel, I've done videos at the garage sales pretty much every year that I was there, and he would be there. DJ Shadow would just be chilling there, and he would be talking to people, and he would put rare stuff in the bins. I must have like 15 signed DJ Shadow 7 inches, 12 inches LPs in this room because he just was so cool, and he would just chat with everybody, and it was very, very nice guy, very shy, but very, very nice, and so talented. The song Stem Long Stem on here is one of my favorite kind of like trip hoppy songs of all time. It's just so perfect. But this album was remastered from the original tape, and it was cut at half speed for the 25th anniversary. I'm hoping this will be the best sounding version of this album, but I have not read anything about this yet. So fingers crossed. I have a version of this that was on blue vinyl that came out a year or two ago, and it sounds good, but not insane. I'm hoping that because this is half-speed mastered and from the tapes, that this will really shine, especially on my setup. So really excited to give that a spin. An album that's very important to me and hugely influential for my tastes. If you don't own any copies of Introducing, you should track one down, and now seems like a pretty good time to do that because of the anniversary pressing. So go check that out. DJ Shadow, the legend. All right, here we go. What is this? Oh, amazing. This is the newest record of the Sault catalog, SAULT, hip-hop, R&B, neo-soul, genre-defying collective of mostly anonymous people, I think. Cleo Soul is the only one that I know of, and I actually love her solo career as well. But, yeah, 9, excited to hear this. I've loved everything Sault has done thus far. I feel like they're one of those bands that is largely under the radar for your average person, but music fans are really, people like us who want to watch people talk about vinyl on YouTube. We know about Sault because they're definitely getting a lot of praise in the blogs, and their records are desirable and all that jazz. But I'm excited to hear this. I have not heard a single thing from it. I wish it was a little longer. It looks like it's actually really long. I lied. It's like 10 songs. Okay, excited to hear it. I just hit myself in the face with that. I don't know if you saw that. Not my smoothest move. If everybody could take a split second and hit the like button, it's quick and easy, and YouTube will view that as engagement and therefore potentially stop screwing my channel over like it's been doing for about 5 years. Also, I see a lot of questions popping in, but we have a lot of records to get through. So if you have a burning desire of a question, hit me with a super chat. It'll pop up in the chat with a bright color. It can be 1 cent. It can also be $100,000. Anything in between as well. And I will stop what I'm doing and answer your question. But until then, I'm going to save Q&A for the end, and we'll see how much energy I have. So let's keep the train rolling for now. All right. So it looks like... Oh, yes. St. Vincent, Strange Mercy. One of her best records. I love VMP just gave it the limited treatment. I already have the white variant of it, but I had to double dip. I love that gold foil on the front. Obviously numbered on the back like VMP tends to do. And, there's actually gold foil on the track list too. That's a nice touch. I love this record. I think that it's probably my third favorite. I don't know. I think Actor and her self-titled are better, but this is an amazing record. I haven't been listening to as much St. Vincent as I used to, but I'm hoping that by buying this, I will spin it soon, and then I will kind of rekindle my love for her, because I have so much respect for Annie Clark. Even if her last 2 albums weren't insanely good to me, the most recent one, Daddy's Home, was better than Mass Seduction for me, but I think she's just insanely talented. She's just wonderful. All right. What do we have here? Oh, whoa. This is cool. If anyone knows me, they know I like shiny things. It probably started from my love of holographic Pokemon cards when I was a child. But I like shiny posters as well. I've been meaning to go around and do an Instagram saved story of all of my posters in the house that I have framed up, because there's some really cool shit, and I'd love to show you. But anyway, this is another VMP from this recent run. This is 3-6 Mafia. when the smoke clears. And it says first ever wide vinyl release. But look at can you tell how cool this, like, it's like this, like, it's like a shatter sparkle foil over the name. That's such a cool thing for the packaging. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of paper on the jacket before. I've seen, obviously, foil, but not like that. That is ridiculously cool. So Laura, I just saw Laura ask what my Instagram is. Instagram is too many records _ because someone took too many records from me, but that's life. But yeah, 3-6 Mafia, I mean, you know, Southern rap, good stuff. I'm not as familiar with this album as some of their other stuff. My favorite of theirs is Mystic Styles, but they really don't miss when you're in the mood for that. And I thought this would just be a cool grab. I bought it. I'll listen to it. If it's not as amazing as I was hoping it would be, I'll probably put it in the store. Because if you guys didn't know, I'm in the process of opening a record store with Roland, who is here. Oh, hey, Roland. We are, the update for the record store, which I'll share with you right now, is that we found a new location that we like, and we put in a letter of intent to potentially rent it. So cross your fingers that everything works out with that, because it's a really good value. It's an awesome space. Like, I've been just daydreaming nonstop about how to use that space and turn it into, like, the dopest record store. So yeah, let's hope that we get this one, because I would love to move to the next phase of opening the store, which is actually building the store out. Some cool stuff with that. Some cool stuff about that is that next week I'm going to probably be doing a video about getting gift cards for the record store. I'm going to be offering gift cards for the store that give you a little extra when you redeem them. So it's like you help the store out now and you get a little bonus on top of it for your support. So I'll give you guys some details about that next week. But yeah. So let's see. This is one I was super excited to get. And, you know, oh, what just happened? What is going on? Oh, check out that cool little Ugly Man poster. Talking about, like, shiny stuff. There it is right there. I already own a version of this. The original version. I own two versions. I own the bootleg and I own the original legitimate version, but this was just repressed for the first official repress, the Brown Bunny soundtrack by Vincent Gallo. This soundtrack is a top 3 soundtrack of all time for me. Specifically, I mean, the side A is great, but side B specifically has John Frusciante, who's the guitarist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, doing some of the most incredible, intimate, heartbreaking, psychedelic, lo-fi music I've ever heard. It's just like, it's some of the most transcendent music I've ever heard in my life. And I remember distinctly the first time I listened to those songs, I was in a trance. I was genuinely just, like, unable to do anything but just take the music in. It was so incredible, and I'm a huge fan of Frusciante's work in general, but you know, I'm not going to open this because I went on Discogs before, and I think there's just a really graphic picture, which I'm assuming if you've seen this movie, which I have not, but everyone knows there's a pretty famous scene. I think there's something on here that would get me potentially banned from YouTube, so I'm not going to open it unless that picture was fake on Discogs. That is a dangerous thing to open in front of a child, let's say. But if you guys don't know the Brown Bunny soundtrack, just listen to Frusciante's songs. You will be moved beyond your what you thought music could do for you. It's just so good. So I'm happy to own this version as well. I'll listen to it and hopefully it sounds even better than the version I have now. We'll see. The original version, the non-bootleg, the jacket's really thick and sturdy. I remember thinking, like, this is like a very, like, hard stock jacket, which is cool. The movie is really experimental and not supposed to be that good, actually. It's just known for a very controversial scene, which if you do any Googling, you can probably hear about. The soundtrack, though, incredible. Although what's interesting about the soundtrack is Frusciante's songs don't actually appear in the film. They were just made for the film. Vincent Gallo used them as inspiration and he listened to them as he was making the movie. So it's an interesting way to kind of look at a soundtrack because it's not actually represented within the context of the film, but it helped inspire it. So it's a very cool thing. That being said, check this out. I love this guy's art so damn much. Brian Blomarth. He makes these fun. He's done stuff for Lil Ugly Mane. He's done stuff for George Clanton. Lots of artists have worked with him. And this is North Americans Going Steady. That's actually really funny. So this is the first reissue of this album. Their album that they put out, I believe, last year or the year before, was actually on Third Man Records, and they had this really beautiful like Rainbow Trout variant that was like this one of the most gorgeous records I've ever seen, like visually, and it's just like the way to describe their music is really sparse, beautiful ambient guitar work, basically. A little soundscapey, but nothing too in your face. Very pretty, very masterful background music. This is not something that's background music because it lacks ability, and it really is something that's special. And I've never even heard this album, but I bought it on a whim because I loved that album so much. I said anything this band does has got to be at least good. Love the art too. And what's funny, what I was laughing about, is it says official reissue of North American's 2018 breakthrough album Going Steady, originally limited to 100 copies. Which I think is funny to say because it's not that this one's limited to 100 copies. They just said the first version was, which I've never seen a hype sticker hype up the original run. Has anyone ever seen that before? I think that's pretty funny. But I can't wait to hear this. I'm probably going to spin this tonight. I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this to come in because that last album, Roped In, is just so good. One of the highest accolades and recommendations I can give you guys is to check out their most recent record if you're into instrumental stuff. If you're not, you might not like it. Alright, what is next? Some of these mailers really struggle. They really try to hurt me. Alright, so we have some more underground hip-hop. This was a duo EP that was pressed where they did one EP on each side. This is Nicholas Craven, really awesome producer. And this is a series of tracks that he did, 1 and 2, N1 and N2 it's called. It's cool. There's a sticker on the bottom. It's numbered out of 100, which is rad. Yeah, I really like the work he does with the rapper Ransom. If you guys haven't checked him out, check out Ransom's stuff, especially with Nick Craven. Don't have too much to say about it, so I'm going to move on to the next one, but pretty cool. Alright. This next one is going to be another obscure artist that I discovered. And I know some of you will appreciate that, and some of you will say, get on with it. But let's see. I'm not going to say too much about these. I think I stumbled on these on Bandcamp. Oh, here's what happened. I know the story. So someone in my group on Facebook, if you guys aren't in the TMR Facebook group, we have a super active group about mine. There's almost 7,000 people in it. But someone posted this girl, Karima Walker, and I loved her music. It was like experimental and really pretty, and I loved it. And I went to the label, Orendal, and I started listening to some of the artists on the label, and I also fell in love with this artist, and I picked up, I guess 2 of her albums were being reissued, so I picked them up because they weren't too expensive, and I really liked it. It was another kind of like ambient with some vocals. This is, here we go. Gia Margaret. Have you guys heard of her? Nope, that's not right. Not Gia Margaret. That is not the right name. It is Gia Margaret. Did I just have like a dyslexic moment? That was strange. Gia Margaret. Right? No, I am right. They're screwing with me. This album's called Gia Margaret. Her name is Gia Margaret. I knew I wasn't crazy. I thought, yeah, okay. Let's all take a deep breath. Let's sink down. She's really, really good, and I recommend checking these out on the label. Gia Margaret, not Gia Margaret. And, yeah, if you like kind of like, ethereal vocals and ambient stuff, she really made me happy to hear it. So check it out. Alright, let's keep going. intense mailer I'm opening right now. There's a... Here we go. So this is, okay, a little more underground hip-hop for you guys. I think there might be another one in the stack. I kind of go overboard with the underground hip-hop because I feel like it's something that... The thing about this genre is that if you don't get the underground hip-hop release when it comes out and you miss it, you may never get it for under like $100, $200. If you don't like it, you can always find someone on Reddit to trade it to. So it's like I sometimes just pull the trigger on these things just because I feel like there's a easy way to get rid of it if I don't like it, and if I do love it and I miss it, I'll be mad. So this is not actually the case for this one because I missed the original drop for this, and I ended up getting it for, I believe, around retail, which is great. I don't know why this one hasn't jumped up in price, but this is Conway the Machine, Everybody's Food, 1, 2, and 3. It's like a big trifold jacket on black Gunsmoke vinyl. Conway is one of the people leading the front in underground hip-hop. Him, Westside Gunn, Benny the Butcher. Those guys are kind of like the Griselda gang. If you guys aren't familiar, you've probably heard that. But this is all 3 of these tapes. Everybody is Food, 1, 2, and 3. They're solid tapes. So, yeah, I'm excited to give this a listen. I like a big, nice jacket like that. It's always a nice plus. This feels empty. That can't be real. That can't be empty. Imagine they just sent me an empty box. This really doesn't feel like there's a record in here. Oh, there is, but it's very light. Let's see what this is. Every day's like Christmas here. I know what this is. So this is, this was recommended to me by Mr. Andy Fisher, who is someone who watches this channel, and I respect him a lot, and he used to work at Vinyl Films, which has done some of the best, soundtracks like Almost Famous and Say Anything and all this stuff, and they're working on reissuing them. Anyway, he's a great dude, and he messaged me one night and he was like, have you heard NiiA? NiiA. And I was like, no. And he made me listen to La Bella Via, and within 3 songs I was already in the cart buying it. It's so good. Awesome kind of like modern R&B, a little soulful, a little poppy, great voice, really unique stuff. R&B can all sound a little similar to me at times, but the best stuff rises to the top, and I think this is definitely something I'm not going to regret buying. So her name is NiiA, N-I-I-A, and I feel like if this is not sold out, then it will be soon. So maybe don't sleep on it and jump on it sooner than later. At least listen so you can be educated if you want it or not. But yeah, this was a great recommendation. As you guys can probably imagine, I get quite a bit of recommendations from people. Oftentimes people that I know, sometimes people I don't know. And it's hard for me to have the time to listen to every recommendation I get. But sometimes, some people, or sometimes it hits me at the right time and I listen, and this is one of those ones that I was like, damn, this was spot on. Did it. I did it. What? Did it in 1, which is good. I'm getting better at this. It only took me 5,000 mailers. All right, so this song, here we go. I am a huge fan. Let me see if I can show you guys. I am a huge fan of Parks and Recreation. If you can see right there, there's Aphex Twin. But those are 2 Parks and Rec prints that are both variants of one another. It's my favorite comedy. I think it's just the best ensemble cast of all time. And then they just said they were releasing this, which is the Mouse Rat, the Awesome album, which is songs from the fictional band from the show, Mouse Rat. I did read some weird article lately that Michael Schur, the show's creator, and Chris Pratt, who was the lead singer of Mouse Rat, had no idea this was coming out, which I thought was a little weird because this was on Dual Tone Records, and they're pretty reputable, and that's a great label, Brandy Carlisle, all these awesome people. So I'm unclear as to what the backstory of that is, but either way, this is the green Flush with Cash variant for my favorite character, John Ralphio. which is maybe my favorite comedy character of all time. I think Ben Schwartz is just an absolute genius. And yeah, so the awesome album. I anything Parks and Rec and vinyl related, that's like a cross section of my biggest interests. So you're laughing at that. You thought that Aphex Twin was with Richard D. James was Leslie Knope. That's hilarious. That would actually be awesome. I wish I had like a trippy Leslie. But yeah, I'm wondering how those songs sound. I don't like beyond the songs that are obvious from the show. I'm wondering what the other ones sound like. So I suppose I will find out soon. All right. Okay, this is another cool one that I'm excited to share. I have a little sub story. I have a story about this and then a sub story. So what am I doing here? So this is an artist. So my best friend from college, Dylan, who you guys probably know if you get records from my label, as Vermilion Club, and his self-titled or his album by himself, Magic. He amazing musician, and he was just visiting me for the first time since I moved to Oregon, and he was showing me a bunch of music that he recently discovered, and he showed me Indigo de Souza, and I loved it. I was so blown away by how good it was, and I went to the Indigo de Souza web store, and they still had copies in stock and signed copies of both of I think it's a band. I think it's led by a girl. I'm not entirely sure, but these are different albums, and I haven't listened to anything beyond the one song that he played me, but I loved it so much that I was like, I'm going to go all in on Indigo de Souza. So, got these 2 signed copies, which is cool. This one has a little XOXO. This one does not. So this one has less love than this one, or less hugs, less kisses, but that's okay. Yeah, so if you have not heard, that's how you spell it, and go check out their stuff. It's super, super good. Really unique. Almost had like a little bit of like Bjork in there, but a little poppier than Bjork. I don't know what to say, but this is, yeah, I love the art style too. Really cool. So big fan of this, and I'm hoping that the albums live up to that one song. You know what's funny is that Dylan also introduced me, which I'm so late to the party on. I'm like embarrassed about. Faye Webster, which I had always heard about but hadn't sat and listened to at all. I still have to spend time with her album this year because it could make my top 10 based on how much I loved Kingston, which is the song he played me. I think that Faye Webster Kingston is one of the best songs I've ever heard. I've listened to it in the past 2 weeks probably 15 times. And I can't remember the last time a song has made me kind of just want to listen to it over and over and over again. I try not to like overplay stuff for myself because it's easy to kind of fall into that hole. But Faye Webster, she really just like, I feel like, yeah, it's like, just it's her voice, her vibe. I'm a huge fan of it. That's a call for you guys to go check out Faye Webster if you have not yet. Listen to the song Kingston. You'll get it. I think any human being on the planet could like that song, no matter what genre you like, no matter what you're into, etc., etc. Alright, so this was a pretty good Discogs get. This is a pop-punk album called Old Bones by Broadside. They weren't ever super popular, but this album is out of print and pretty hard to find. I've had a couple variants on my want list for maybe 6 months or so, and it finally popped up, and it was popped up for like $20. It was like crazy, because I feel like you could probably get more for it. I think it's the gray variant. But yeah, if you like kind of like pop-punk type stuff, Broadside, Old Bones, really good album. Under the radar for most people. Check it out. They should have probably been bigger than they are. I'm catching some comments. Scotty says, please listen to Faye's album Atlanta Millionaires Club. Yes, that's so. So as soon as I heard the Faye Webster song, I was like, oh my god, and I went and I bought on Reddit, someone was doing a bundle of her new album and the album from 2 prior, or the one before Atlanta Millionaires Club, and then I heard and then I realized Kingston wasn't on either of those, and I was like, damn it. And then I saw that the variants of that were sold out, and I was like, damn it. But then I saw that Secretly is doing. Is it Secretly? I think that's the label. They're doing like these anniversary represses, and they're repressing Atlanta Millionaires Club on orange vinyl. So I grabbed that. So I have that on the way to me, which is very exciting. I see someone saying thoughts on the new Lil Ugly Mane. I have so many damn thoughts about this album, but you're gonna have to wait until my end of year video because I don't want to spoil anything. They're positive. I'll say that much. They're positive. This is cool. As you guys know, let's do another tour of the room real quick. I love Spangle. I'm a big fan of Spangle. I love that psytrance. Mostly just Spangle. A lot of the other psytrance stuff I've listened to, it didn't really hit me the way that Spangle does. There's something special. Maybe it's the aesthetic. I don't know. What's going on with this camera? Let's get right. There we go. So this is Cosmic Trigger doing Spangle Remixed. It's just officially sanctioned by Twisted, which is the label that does all the Spangle stuff. This is a remix album of a bunch of Spangle tracks, and I'm really excited to hear it because I feel like the songs are so good on their own that having someone kind of jump into it and do their own take on it could be really interesting. That is not a Lana Del Rey poster. That's a good call, though. It is not music related at all. This is one of my favorite artists. His name is Chuck Sperry. He's from San Francisco, and he paints these incredible, or not, I guess are they paintings? I don't know. He draws, creates these amazing muses. He does a lot of gig art as well. Like, he's done a lot of posters for Black Keys, Pearl Jam, Widespread Panic, like all kinds of bands that work with him. But this is just one of his muses, and I love the poster, and you can't even tell. I'll try to show it off in the Instagram story I'm going to do eventually, but there's like this beautiful metallic foil leaving. It's like leaves on her skin. It's my favorite print in the whole house. It's like, in person, it's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen visually, and I feel very lucky to have purchased it because the way he does his drops, it would drive a vinyl collector insane. He literally is like, okay, this print is on sale today at some time. Not going to tell you the time. And literally, people just refresh the page like all day. And you have to get lucky enough to refresh it where it says, check out with PayPal. Because if you do it like 10 seconds after, it's gone. Because there's like 100 and something copies of it. And I just happened to refresh at the exact moment and get it before it sold out. So that was a really, really lucky thing for me. But yeah, Cosmic Trigger. I don't know any of Cosmic Trigger's other work, but I'm assuming if the Spangle guys are allowing him to do a full, whatever, it's got to be pretty good, right? So this is an album I have not listened to in full. I might get clowned on by some of you guys, and I'm gonna, I'm going to brace myself to be clowned on. But this is Internet Killed the Rockstar by Mod's son. Mod's son, if you guys don't know, is currently dating Avril Lavigne, who has a feature on this record, a song called Flames, and it's actually very good. But I have been in this kind of nostalgic pop-punk kick lately in terms of like that sound of my youth, Sum 41, Blink-182, like that high energy, super hooky, super catchy. Machine Gun Kelly's album scratched that itch better than anything else in the past 10 years. And this album is supposed to be very similar to the Machine Gun Kelly, kind of like this like emotional, aggressive, pop-punk type sound. He used to also be a rapper like Machine Gun Kelly. So I purchased the signed copy from his web store. And I have not listened to the record yet, so I'm going to spin it, and I may hate it. I know that he's kind of a bit of a clown, but I may love it. I don't know. I think there's... I'm trying to think if there's any other good features on here. There's Black Bear. I thought that MGK was on here too, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's not, I'm not going to be prideful about owning that. I don't think that's like a very cool thing to own, but... maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll be as surprised as I was with Tickets to My Downfall being so catchy. We'll see. Mod's son. Alright, so this is the final package. And it's a good one. It's from Mondo. Shout out to the dough. We have the Coraline soundtrack and Over the Garden Wall. Two phenomenal soundtracks. They just got represses at Mondo. This is an amazing movie, amazing soundtrack. Great show. I haven't finished it, but the music is fantastic. I know that people really are excited about this repress because it was out of print for quite some time. So, yeah, really, really stoked to have grabbed these. Mondo's really killing it lately. I got to do a panel with them virtually. I don't know if any of you guys were there. This was maybe like 2 months ago. It was a lot of fun. It was with a bunch of the heavy hitters in the soundtrack game. And it was super fun. And I've been talking with the guys at Mondo to do more stuff with them. So I would love to, like, you know, collab with them and not just like show off records, but like, you know, do something fun, like maybe like, you know, host a panel or, you know, show up at one of their booths at a con. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Mondo. So that's it. Those are the records. And now I'll answer some questions. I feel like I missed a boatload of questions in this chat while I was. So I'm not going to go all the way up, but I'll look at what I can see, and we'll go from there. 0 super chats tonight, guys. 0 super chats. I do these so you guys buy me dinner. That's the only reason I go live. What's going on? What? Why no? Why 0 super chats? I'm just kidding. Let's see. Pratt admitted he was doing a parody of Eddie Vedder and Mouse Rat. That actually makes me like Mouse Rat even more, which is amazing. Let's see. Do I still subscribe to Vinyl Me Please? Are they slacking as of late with quality issues and cost increases? I feel like I'm like, Vinyl Me Please is like the abusive spouse, and I'm just like stuck with it. I haven't been enamored by many of the releases in a while. Occasionally they'll like put out a nice one, you know what I mean? But oftentimes I'm a little underwhelmed. Oh, Scotty! There you go. Bought myself a little Popeye's chicken sandwich, maybe. Call it a day. VMP has not been as good as it used to be. I feel like they're getting a little too big for their britches. I think they just don't really know what to do now that they've grown so large. I don't know if they ever expected to grow this big. The price hike was pretty wild. I do think that, you know, a lot of their stuff, especially if you're not a member, is really, really pricey. But that's all right. Am I still impressed with my Clearaudio deck? Yeah. The next big upgrade is going to be upgrading the cartridge, and I'm just not there yet. I'm going to wait for this cartridge to maybe wear out and start to need an upgrade, and then at that point I'm going to probably upgrade to a moving coil cartridge, which hopefully will continue to improve the sound even more. I love the Clearaudio. It's been such a workhorse of a table. It sounds so good. It has almost no problems with it. I'm actually going to be doing a video on Friday. Surprise! Double video week. Where I'm going to be showing off a really interesting turntable that's super unique. And I got my hands on it, and I did a little video. So look forward to that if you're into gear, if you're into kind of like unique offerings. I did a little video that I think people will get a kick out of, and it's not for everybody. But I think that it'll be a fun video for the channel. Really been enjoying your channel. Thanks. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that. You know, if people can't super chat, I also accept words of encouragement. It's nice, you know. Sometimes you just throw content into the void and just keep throwing it. And it's really nice when people take the time to tell me that they like what I do. So thank you. That means a lot. Oh, thank you, Inosh. Very, very kind of you for the super chat. Do I know Iko Ishibashi? I don't. Can you send me some of her stuff? It sounds like it's probably up my alley. But no, I'm not familiar. I feel like there's so much. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I'm making an assumption that it's Japanese music, but there's so much music in Asia that I haven't like really wrapped my head around yet, and that's kind of the exciting aspect of collecting records, is that I have so many more years, knock on wood, to keep discovering different genres, different eras, different places in the world. I already have my Brazilian deep dive, but I got to do like a French deep dive. You know what I mean? Like there's so many cool things. Terry, thank you so much. The snack that smiles back. I appreciate that. Thank you. Did I watch the Woodstock 99 doc? I did. That was a terrifying festival. I'm very glad I was not there, although I would have been 10, so probably not the best place for me. But yeah, that looked like, Firefest was like nothing in comparison to the Woodstock 99, for real. Laura, that's a really interesting question. As a music therapist, you're super interested in connecting with people through music listening. If I were to meet someone for the first time, what record would I spin for them that would describe me best? I mean, I feel like it's hard to not say The National Alligator because it's my favorite album and I have a pretty strong connection to it. A lot of, I made a movie about it, which it lives on the channel. If you haven't seen that, it's a short film I made 10 years ago. But I almost would say, honestly, like I just did a video series of my top albums of all time, and I think any of the top 5 would probably describe me best. I mean, you could play Carrie and Lowell by Sufjan, you could play 808s and Heartbreak. Lots of different. That's an interesting question. Oh, Scotty, I just got your message. How do I like Oingo Boingo? It's more of a novelty for me. I think Dead Man's Party is pretty cool, but overall, I don't think I'd find myself throwing on an Oingo Boingo record. Obviously, I think Elfman's a genius, but for me, it's not like a band that I have a strong connection to, and I've tried a few times, and it's good, but not, I don't know, it's just not exactly what I was going for. Coraline scared you as a child. You didn't know there was a good soundtrack. The soundtrack's amazing. All the soundtrack to all the Leica movies are fantastic. What's my favorite R&B soul album? Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I gotta think about it. Deputy Dog, is it the Floating Platter? No, it's not. It's not the Floating Platter. That's a cool turntable too. I actually reached out to them once upon a time, and they wouldn't send me anything. They weren't super receptive. But that was a long time ago. Maybe now I could reach out and be like, hey, how about now? Did I check out Phineas's new album? No, I haven't heard anything good or bad about it. I remember his EP he put out. I wasn't that into it. I thought it was just okay. I think he does a great job working with Billy, but I don't know if his solo stuff is enough for me. Chris says, you love me, I'm the best. Thank you. I'm not the best. I'm just a guy, but I appreciate that. What are my thoughts on Halsey's new album produced by Nine Inch Nails? Yeah, I loved it. I'm still wrestling with it being in my top 10, but I'm not sure. As I'm working on my top 10, because I got to do the video probably early December to put out in the middle of December. This has been a shockingly good year for music, and it really, when I sit down and look at all the albums that I loved, the albums that I liked, and the albums I still haven't had a chance to spend time with yet, it's pretty overwhelming. The top 10 spots are a fierce competition for me this year. Usually I'm pretty confident in what I lock in, and this year there's a lot of honorable mentions that could have probably been in the top 10. So, super interesting. I look forward to making the video and getting everyone else's thoughts as well. My opinion about record marketplaces right now. I think Discogs, I think I did a video about this not too long ago. I think Discogs is what everyone uses, but it could use a lot of new features. It feels very outdated. The NASDisc guys, which I did the video about, NASDISC, they are working on a marketplace that I think is much more user-friendly for buyers and sellers, but it doesn't have the audience. So it's like if Discogs if the Discogs users went to NASDisc, that would be the best marketplace. But because Discogs has all the people, they're still the champion, you know? Thoughts on Idols? I've never listened to Idols. They're post-punk, right? They've completely just went right over my head. Have I met any of the Parks cast? You've met the entire main cast? How did that happen? Closest I got was I went to Paley Fest in LA, and they were doing the Parks and Rec reunion panel, and I got to go to that, and that was super cool. I don't think I've ever met any of them, unfortunately. I would love to. I don't know what I would say. I think I would just nerd out. They seem pretty cool. I mean, most of them seem like they're open to, like, you know, I don't think anyone would get too super upset if you were to, like, say hi. Did I hear the Floating Point and Pharoah Sanders album that came out this year? I did, and it's a masterful piece of music. I just don't think it's my type of music. It's not something that I would really throw on. I can acknowledge how good it is from like a musical standpoint, but I don't know, for something about it just didn't really grab me. And it's just because I don't really listen to a lot of jazzier stuff unless it's like jazzy hip hop or Brazilian jazz. Coraline was supposed to be a full-on musical written by They Might Be Giants. That's super weird. Besides Schmongel, what bands or artists do I like that play a genre I'm not into? You know what? That's a great video. 5 albums I love from genres I don't. That's a cool video title. I'm not going to answer that now, but I'm definitely going to think about that and maybe figure out a video, because I think that's cool that if there's an artist that can kind of transcend genre. Yeah, that's cool. Favorite Radiohead album is In Rainbows, followed by Kid A. I think In Rainbows is their magnum opus. It's such a perfect record. What's the next trip for TMR? It's a good question. I have been traveling so much over the past few months. I need a break. I don't know when the next trip's going to be. You know, winter is not the best time to travel places unless it's somewhere warm. So maybe I'll, you know, go down to like Mexico and do like a Mexico City vinyl haul or something. I don't know. We'll see. I definitely think that the winter is going to be slow for TMR trips, especially with the store opening soon. I mean, it's not opening soon. We're still in the process of getting the location. But if we get the location in the next couple weeks, I would still like to have it open in the first, you know, by mid-February at the latest, hopefully earlier. So fingers crossed about that. NiiA was a phenomenal recommendation. Hey, all thanks to Andy Fisher. That guy, he knows good music. Am I a musician? No. People ask me that all the time. They're like, you love music, you must play. And I'm like, I have stupid fingers. I can't play. I can't do it. I've tried. I grew up, I played a little piano. Dylan tried to teach me guitar once and told me I'm bad. So I don't know. I don't think, you know, we're not even halfway through this life. I think at some point I'll probably want to learn guitar. I feel like I'd love to make music, even if it's instrumental, but I don't know. Hayley Williams' Flowers for Vases is a brilliant vinyl, but I don't know why she didn't release it on CD as well. Yeah, I just think CDs are kind of on their way out for now. I know they'll have a resurgence down the road, but most people don't have a place to play CDs. Most cars don't have CD players anymore. A lot of computers don't have CD players anymore. Like, it's just kind of like an outdated medium now that people have streaming and or vinyl. So I wouldn't be surprised if more artists stop making CDs frequently. If you liked Moo and Evie, what lo-fi artist should you try next? Adam's right. Idealism is fantastic. Definitely check them out. I gotta go through my lo-fi cube. I have a cube of like 50 lo-fi records, maybe more. I really like what was it? It just came out. There's this guy Psalm Trees, Psalm, Psalm Trees, and he did like a guitar album with some guy, like some guitarist. I forget what. Check him out. Just check out that stuff. Yeah, with lo-fi, a lot of it can be a little, a lot of it can sound the same and be a little forgettable, but I think the best stuff really shines, like Mao, I don't know how to pronounce the name, and Evie. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other lo-fi artists that I love. Tompa Beats. Check out Tompa Beats. Tompa Beats. I think that's how you pronounce it. The album's called Harbor. That's the first record. Super out of print. I don't own the vinyl. I wish I did. It goes for like $400. But, yeah. Am I going to pick up the VMP Clips pressing? Yeah, definitely. I love Clips. Pusha T, Malice. I mean, those guys are awesome. I don't own Hell Hath No Fury yet, so I'm excited for them to press it. I think it's the first repress in a while, I believe. If you're not feeling it, though, you're not feeling it. Clips is definitely not for everybody. I wouldn't ever balk at someone not being a fan, but I'm a huge fan of Pusha T. Hey, Fort Vine's here! Guys, it's everyone's favorite band, Fort Vine. NiiA and Trevor. How's Gypsy Bungalow? I saw your update about the breakdown. Are you guys back on the road yet? You got the purple splatter of the Nationals High Violet 10th anniversary. That's awesome. I love High Violet. I'm salty about that album because I was supposed to go see their homecoming festival last year in Cincinnati where they were playing it in full. And then, of course, we all know what happened last year. Did not happen. Huge bummer. All right, Gypsy Bungalow, back in action. Guys, you teased us with some music. When are we getting some more drip-fed Fort Vine singles or a full album? I know Primordial Mirror just came out. I'm still absorbing how good that album is, but you guys are nonstop. You can't stop making music. It's like it's your soul. So when are we gonna get some more good stuff? When am I gonna be able to press another record on the label? Everyone who has no idea what we're talking about is like, what is wrong with this guy? If you guys don't know, Fort Vine is an amazing indie band, hybrid folk, some soul, some rock, really everything that is good fused into one. Amazing harmonies, also just good people, good friends of mine, and I've pressed 2 of their 3 albums on the Too Many Records label. And fun fact, I helped get their first album to feed bands who pressed their first one. So I like to think I'm their vinyl guru, their vinyl Sherpa, their shaman. What's the right guiding them to the light. I don't know. I'm trying to keep these guys living in the analog world as long as I can. Gypsy Bungalow would be a good name for a new album for sure. Fort Vine benefit concert for the TMR store. We're not in that much danger, Adam. I'm hoping that Fort Vine's schedule will align with whenever we do the grand opening, because if they could play the first ever in-store show, that would be a true honor. I would love that. Deputy Dog, it's funny, as you said that, I realized what I had said, and I was like, ugh, I should have maybe used another word. I'm your analog daddy? Daddy. That's me. That's like, maybe I should rebrand to the analog daddy. Is that should Too Many Records be done? Should that be the name of the store and then I should just become analog daddy? Why do I feel like I would do better on YouTube if I was analog daddy? Damn it. It's so funny. I love that. I should check out Otis Heat, a cool Portland, Oregon band. There's so many cool bands from Portland. Roland has a joke where wherever we're talking about music, he's like, "Oh yeah, that band's from Portland," and most of them are. Favorite soundtrack? I always say singles, but I feel like it might be Brown Bunny. I don't know. There's a lot of good soundtracks out there. Have I ever heard Leon Vinehall? Quirky ambient stuff. No, I haven't. Send it to me. I'll check it out. No, Tony, don't start Analog Daddy. That's in my back pocket. I gotta use that for if I ever need a fast rebrand. If I want to burn TMR to the ground and start over anew, I will be Analog Daddy. Why is that so funny? All right, I'll take like one or two more questions, and then I'm gonna take off. I'm actually excited. I'm gonna be chatting tonight with a buddy of mine who I met through my many visits to Amoeba. He's the GM of Amoeba Hollywood. He's been managing big record stores for almost 2 decades. He's the best dude, and he's gonna chat with me and give me some tips about record store stuff. So I'm really excited to kind of talk to him about that. Analog Daddy does sound very Aphex for sure. Call the store Analog Daddy. Have I heard the new Blue? I have not listened to the new Blue yet, no. Have I counted my records recently? Well, the amount of records in this house right now, because I also have records for the store, there's so many thousands of records in this house right now. Roland and I need to get this location ASAP so that we can move these records to the store, because the house is getting overrun for sure. All right, this has been super fun. Thank you guys for joining me. Look for the video on Friday. Next week we're talking gift cards for the store with a little bonus on top for those who support. So thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.